Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Lauren Midgley, author of At 6 a.m. and I'm Already Behind, Strategies to Get Caught Up. Lauren, welcome to the show.
I'm here, Paul. Good to talk to you.
Are you ready to get started?
I am. Let's go.
All right. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
I believe the first step is to get a rough cover design, like a rough draft of your cover design. And the reason, Paul, is that it really is motivation. Because when you have that cover, you look at it, you think about it, and it triggers your subconscious mind to do more writing and that type of thing. One way to get that draft would be to, what I did was I went to like a Barnes & Noble, and I looked at a lot of books on a lot of shelves, took my camera, my iPhone, took some pictures. I looked on Amazon, and I really looked at what covers resonated with me. And I found that I really liked, a white background. And, there were certain colors I liked, and I knew there were certain graphics and fonts. And so I somewhat designed it in a rough way. And I went with that for a while. I had it pinned up near my desk, and it helped me with motivation. And it also kind of reminded me of why was I writing this book. And that was kind of the other, sidebar piece of advice is, really understanding why you're writing this book, because you want to, not do things or just not be inspired to write. But you see that graphic, that visual, I think it helps with motivation.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that question up, because when I had finished the manuscript, I really didn't know which way I wanted to go, if I wanted to look for a traditional publisher or if I wanted to do independent publishing. And along the way, I found a book coach, which is very similar to what you do. And I wish I had met you back in 2012, because it really is, there's a fair amount of steps in book publishing. None of them are hard, but you do need the guidance of somebody helping you to walk through what needs to be done, or have somebody do it for you. And so to me, it was getting my arms around all of those pieces. And, I also was looking for resources that for somebody that would do the professional edit as well as the professional formatting. And I knew that even though I was going to be an independent publisher, I actually started my own publishing company so that I could publish that book and have the rights and the controls, all that good stuff. But it was, I needed to learn what the steps were, and having someone help you and guide you through the process on that is really powerful.
Well, that's one of the things too, especially when you're doing it the very first time with your first book, there's just so many things to learn. I remember when I got my first book done, I literally spent the entire month of July, probably 14 to 16 hours a day, just learning everything I could. I spent half that time learning about publishing and the other half of the time learning about marketing. And there's just so many things, and there's nothing difficult, but everything is just there's so many little tedious steps that if you miss one step, then it can really potentially screw up your launch.
Right. And it was crazy. I had finished my manuscript like about the 26th of December, and I had a speaking engagement on March 1st. So once I had the manuscript done, I really wanted to get books in hand. But as you know, to get through those steps, it takes some time to do that. But the good news was I did get in the books in hand for March 1st for that speaking engagement. But it was, you're right, it's none of it's difficult, it's just tedious, and you have to allocate a fair amount of time. So I think one of the things that was the hardest part for me was, number one, figuring it out. Number two was just allocating the time. But it was all worth it to do that.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that worked well.
So one of the things that I have done is, as a professional speaker, I use my book kind of in three ways. One is as a calling card, as a business card. So if I meet somebody, even networking one-on-one, I always provide a book as a complimentary copy. The third book that I have right now happens to be a hardcover copy with a dust jacket. And it really is pretty impressive when somebody looks at that, right? And so they see like, ooh, they kind of see the credibility of that. The second thing that I do is when I do my speaking events, I always have books available for sale at the back of the room. And, it's just what I find is I speak on the topic of productivity, and my book is on productivity. And so they want to take a little piece of you home with them. And that book is an easy way to make that happen. And the third way that I do use it from a marketing standpoint, Paul, is I do use LinkedIn and to look for my speaking engagements. And I have a really nice box that I've bought from Uline and uline.com. And I will package up a book. I'll have my piece of stationery, and I actually handwrite a note. And I'll send it to somebody that I think can hire me for speaking. And so the book is really kind of my introduction to them as to who I am, and that I'm a serious author and I'm a serious speaker. So those have worked pretty well for me. The last piece I would add in, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine today, was I love that Amazon is out there, and Amazon is truly the marketplace of where people buy books. However, I did set up a website called it's 6ambook.com, and essentially it's kind of a landing page, but those orders of books come directly to me, and I do the fulfillment on those, and I have the ability then to enclose a personal note, and if I want to include another copy of one of my other books, and the key thing there is I then have the name of the person who wanted that book. Right? Because if people order from Amazon, you don't know the names of people that ordered that book. So if they go to my it's 6ambook.com, then they become part of my following, part of my email campaign, etc.
And in regards to the fulfillment, so do you actually send those books out yourself, or do you have someone that actually does that specifically? Because that's got to probably add up after a few days with a lot of sales.
It does. So I do both. I have a VA, but I also do some of on my as well myself.
And I love your strategy about LinkedIn too, and actually reaching out to people. So what I'd like for you to do, if it's okay, is to share with our listeners that strategy. So what can they do on LinkedIn for the speakers out there to potentially reach out to people, to offer them the book, to potentially build that relationship and to get the speaking gigs? What are some of the strategies that you would suggest they do?
So I'll give an example. So I have a particular niche of speaking engagements that I'm looking for, and it's in the franchise industry. So my corporate background before I became a consultant speaker was that I worked in the franchise industry. So I've connected with a fair amount of people in that niche on LinkedIn. And so I will, after the connection, I will then send a message to them and say that, I'm looking to, find out more about their business, find out if they have any upcoming conferences, and, here's what I speak on, here's what I've written on, I kind of give, some of my information. Not a hard sale, but just more, just if they're the right person, or they can pass me on to someone who can coordinate some speaking engagements for me. And then once we do that and I kind of engage that, I get to the right person, most people in their LinkedIn, they also have their phone numbers under their contact information. I then will pick up the phone and leave voicemail or try to reach the person and say, with your permission, I would love to, send you a copy of my book, and just kind of, so I give a gift, right? But it gives me the opportunity to find out information of what type of speakers they bring into their conferences, and do they pay speakers, and then I truly use the book as the front piece or the major marketing piece going forward. And it has worked effectively for me to get speaking engagements.
Yeah, and that is such a great strategy. So, were you actually sending out the connection request, and once they accepted, you went to the pages, or were you able to go there without having to send that connection request?
Um, to get to the contact information,
Yeah.
they have to connect with you. Right, right. And that's okay, because I mean, it just kind of begins the process, if you will, right? So I have some templated, let's say, messages that I send out. So for me, it's pretty easy. But once they connect, then we begin the interchange and the conversation. And I'm one of those that ultimately I will take it offline and get them on the phone, if you will, right?
Yeah, and the reason I mention that, that's actually a similar strategy that we use for the podcast when we're reaching out to prospective guests, where we'll use that, we'll send out messages to connect with them, but also to invite them onto the show. So it sounds like it's a very similar strategy, and I'll tell you, it's a very effective strategy as well, because it is personal.
Right, right. And it's just that, so if I were reaching out to you and you were in the franchise industry, and let's say you're, VP of sales or VP of training, VP of marketing, I'm going to say, hey, Paul, what's your mailing address? With your permission, I would love to send you a complimentary copy of my book. Would that be okay with you? And so again, I'm just at that point, I'm really at that point confirming your address, your mailing address. Like, where's your office? It could be your home, or it could be you're at the corporate office, or you might be a traveling guy, right? So I really need to kind of confirm that, and not just guess where your office really is located, because your LinkedIn might have your headquarter address, but reality, you might be miles away from there. So, but to me, the book is a way just to add credibility, authority. I love your comment that author is the root word of authority, and it really does elevate. When you're an author, you realize, you think it's common that everybody's an author, but the reality is that not everybody is. And so when people encounter an author, that they really do attach a credibility to you for your expertise on that topic.
Yeah, because I mean, it makes you the expert. And when you're at networking events, you introduce yourself as an author, or you introduce yourself as a best-selling author, or a multi-time best-selling author. It really piques an interest. Where they're like, oh, you're an author. Well, tell me more about your book. And it's just funny how it really warms up those relationships, especially when networking.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great conversation starter, and it goes back to the thought that you have and that I have, is that most people have a book inside them, or they have a desire, they want to do that, and then ultimately that's why they are curious. I mean, they want to know more, right? So it's kind of cool.
Well, let's talk about the tough question now, and that is about your favorite book. Always our toughest question. So what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
So my number one book, well, first of all, I have a huge library on, hardcover books as well as Kindle. So it's hard to pick one because I'm a huge book lover. But the one that I pick is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And she wrote this book 25 years ago, and it was originally intended for artists who had like a mental block about creativity. It also applies to authors of not being able to get past their block of writing, or just not being inspired, whatever. And Julia goes through 12 chapters of walking you through exercises to kind of unblock whatever's going on inside your head so that you can get back to being creative. And I love that book in the sense that over the years, I've probably read it 6 times and gone through the exercises each time. And I think she's just a powerful author. She wrote a lot of other books after that as well, similar format. Julia Cameron with a C, The Artist's Way. One of my favorites.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
So one of my favorite quotes is Ralph Waldo Emerson. And because I'm a productivity geek and I love the whole helping people get things done, this quote just speaks to it, and it's in my book. And it starts by saying, finish each day and be done with it. You've done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely, and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense.
I like that. So why is that your favorite quote?
Why it's my favorite quote is, I'm a believer that, all that we really can control is our day to day and being now and being present. And we go to bed at the end of the day and we beat ourselves up of all the things we didn't get done. And so I think about Ralph's quote of like, okay, the day is done, and, start it tomorrow and begin again. And it's a new day. And so to me, it's kind of how I live my life. And it's my mantra of, just take each day as it comes, do your best, and feel good at the end of the day and personally satisfied and fulfilled that you've had a great day.
Well, Lauren, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
The best way to find me would be my last name, laurenmidgley.com. And for the book it's 6am.com. Excuse me, it's 6ambook.com. Best way to reach me online.
Well, Lauren, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
And same to you. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.